always a good idea to adjust the camera before you go live. But hey, I'm here! And I'm such a happy girl! Happy, 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 happy! So, how is everyone today? We've got another dull day in South Oxfordshire. Why would I think anything else? But yes, let's just check that we have gone live. No, still haven't had the email. No. Yes, had the email. Right. Oh, and I've got the camera in my way. Let me just see if I can adjust that very quickly so that we do not have the camera in shot. That's a bit better. Whoa. Goodie. Right. Gosh, I've got about 1,000,000,001 emails coming in from something that I did earlier this morning. Never mind. Right. So, hello. Morning, Claire. I hope you're feeling a bit better. Are you feeling a bit better? I do hope so. Right. So, what's happened in my life? I've earned the incentive trip. Thanks to all of you. I mean, literally, thanks to all of you. Let me get my trip planner thingy doofer. So this is what we fill in to track how we're doing. And it's all coloured in. So yes, one of my team, bless her, hit qualified. Oh good, I'm glad you haven't had any symptoms, Claire. But yes, one of my team hit qualified, which got me so close. And then I emailed everyone on my newsletter. That's the word I'm looking for. Newsletter list. And said, please. And happily people helped. So yes, I earned the incentive trip. Thank you so much, Audrey. I still can't quite believe it. It's kind of weird because I may not be able to go because of the COVID problems. And I think we have to decide if we're going before the end of this year, so before the end of December. So it really depends on whether the US are going to let us travel in, because it starts in Florida. But yes, so that's kind of weird. And all you get was when you look at your reports in the back office stuff, it just goes, congratulations, you've earned the incentive trip. But that's it. There's no bells or whistles or anything like that. It's just kind of low key. But then my team leader came over yesterday, unannounced, and morning Jan, unannounced, and brought me flowers. And bless her, she brought sunflowers because she knows I like a sunflower or two. And yeah, that was great. So she made it really special. And there's a very embarrassing video of me as she approaches the house, looking in shock. Thank you, Wendy. Yes, it was a fantastic surprise. She was a little concerned, I have to say, when she arrived, because we weren't expecting anyone. So I hadn't opened the gates. When we bought the house, there were already these security gates. So we haven't taken them out or anything. We've left them. So we hadn't opened them because during COVID, we've kind of got used to the fact that as we weren't allowed to have visitors, we only opened them if we were going out. So we knew we weren't going out yesterday, so I hadn't opened them. So she arrived at the house and there were the gates shut. But anyway, she rang me, and fortunately I saw her ringing, and that was great. So what have we got? Lorna. Hello, Lorna. So grey and cold this morning, but nice and warm on YouTube. Oh, that's lovely. Deborah, morning. Thank you. That's so kind. And Audrey, bless her, has got pretty much bells and whistles going. Thank you. So I thought today that we would look at a stamp set that's from the mini catalogue that I think is going to be overlooked because it's on almost the first page. It is actually on page 5, but it's kind of before the catalogue proper starts, and it's this one. It's the Strong of Heart, which I thought was just really lovely, and it's the one that we do for making a difference. So there is an amount that goes to heart health. So heart health charities. I don't know which European or UK charity it is. We should find out at some point. But as of today, I can't answer that question. I've just realised I haven't even checked the updates today, which is not like me. I've got a lot to do. What I'm planning is, now that I can relax a wee bit, not a huge amount, because having earned this year's trip, obviously I want to earn next year's, but I've got masses to do, including clearing up the mess that is currently my craft room. So yeah, lots to do. I've got team swaps to make, because we've got a team swap going on, and I need those to be with the coordinators, because bless them, some of my team are being the coordinators. And I haven't even started. Plus one of my team has just celebrated an anniversary, and I need to get a prezi out to her. So yes, I don't think I've missed much in the weekly updates. Oh, apart from the fact there's a clearance rack refresh coming. Oh no, hang on, no, that's gone the wrong way. That wasn't right. I think the weekly updates might have a bit of a problem at the moment. Yes. So let's have a... No, I need to play proper games with that. Right, so who have we got? Kayla from Australia, thank you. Not a lot, possible future delays from China. Thank you, Wendy, I'm glad you've read them. Thank you, Suzanne. The link's broken, you adjusted the date. Yeah. Hello, Helen from Michigan. So I'm going to flip you down, and then we can have a look at this stamp set. As ever, haven't really planned what I'm doing. Well, I have done some prep, but not a huge amount, just for a change. So there we are. So this is the page of the catalogue that has got the stamp set on it. It's on page 5, which, as I say, is kind of before the catalogue really starts, because this is where it, I think, starts proper. And this bit is misleading. I mean, it's lovely that there's stuff from Shelley, but this bit I think is a bit misleading, because this then hides a bit. But anyway, this is the one we're going to be using today. And as I say, excuse me, I've done a little bit of prep. Not a lot, just for a change. Let me get back so I can see your comments. Haven't seen much with this stamp set. No, Kayla, nor have I. Jan's already got her first swap envelope from the team. I'm guessing that's from Shani or Daryl. She goes by both names. I know she was getting ahead. So, Jan, can you check to see if at some point, please, could you please check to see if you can get into the document? Because Karen was having a problem yesterday, and I sent her the link again, and she hasn't let me know if she got back into it. Can't wait to see her. Absolutely, Kayla, they go to a very, very good cause, the proceeds. So, Strong of Heart, we've got this outline stamps, we've got this infill. What I have found out is that they don't you have to be quite careful about what colour you use. So this is Polish Pink, bit dark. On here they've used a much lighter background, but that bit dark. Ooh, I've just had another thought. Sorry, I'm going to go off-piste a bit, just for a change. Let me just grab something. I want some vellum. Not what I had planned, but I'm actually going to start with this, because I've just had a thought. Right, yes. no, I'm not going to start with that. I'm going to start with what I'd planned, see how the timing goes, and then I might just post if that works. It's in my head. Right, so what I have already done is I've done a bit of dry embossing and also a bit of what I call double embossing. So this is dry embossing, but I've used this hearts, I can't find my catalogue, there it is, embossing folder, which is, let me find it, it's one of the ones that comes as a pair. It's the Dotty Hearts embossing folder, and it comes with the two. So this one is very dotty thing, and this is more stripes, and it's the striped one that I've used. This one I put polished pink ink on the raised section, so this side, so one side's got the Stampin' Up logo and one's got where it's made. So I put polished pink ink on this side and then embossed, so the ink then went into the paper. This one I used this side and put Versamark over, and then white embossing powder. I didn't ink it up particularly well, but so this is what I would call double embossing. I'm mentioning this so that, now this isn't the only way you can do double embossing, so you can just do embossing and then some heat embossing, but this is one way. Anyone who's doing swaps who wants an alternative double embossing, this would count, because that's one of our themes for our swaps. Although this obviously is an annual catalogue and we want to use mini catalogue. To begin with, Deborah, they weren't available. They were one of the items that was late. So yes, but they are really cute, and of course you can use them on the mini cut and emboss. Obviously not if you're doing this way, because you need to go through that way, but you can, and obviously the paper's too wide to go through. So what I am planning, if I can find what I've done, is I've got two of the outlines. I'm going to start with this one. This one, let me just see if you can see it. Yes, you can. This one I've coloured with Stampin' Right markers, but I'm going to colour properly with blends. So this is Evening Evergreen, and I only chose it because it's dark. Hello, Debbie. And then I've done polished pink and soft succulent, and then I'm going to colour those bits and fussy cut, and I may even fussy cut that bit as well if I'm feeling brave. So the first thing I'm going to do is colour in the leaves. So this is going to be in effect no line colouring. It's not no line watercolouring because obviously these are blends, but it is going to be no line colouring. Because I don't know if you know, I mean if you follow me you should, that you can use your classic ink pads with blends and they won't run. So even if I were to do a different colour, so I could use a grey as my outline. Hi Leslie, I hope your welcome pack has arrived. I know your starter kit has. I'm hoping your welcome pack has too. Oh, and anyone who ordered shares, I posted those yesterday. Other than I've got one that needs to go to a team member overseas, and I'm hanging on to that for a moment because I'm hoping that the stuff for our team retreat will arrive this week. It's all ordered, and I'm hoping that I can get that packed up and out, certainly to my overseas team, so that I only have to pay one lot of postage. It came on Saturday, brilliant. I mean, it's, you know, only a bit of nonsense, but I'm glad it arrived. So I'm adding a bit of the dark soft succulent, which is actually blending really nicely because these are a bit wet still, particularly that one. So I'll just ink that down a bit. But what I like to do is I do both things. Hello from Germany. I hope we too. I hope we too. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Barbara. I hope we too. But I will get your... So the shares are ready to go. But as I say, the team retreat stuff is due to arrive this week. Though it seems to be going a rather odd route, which happens sometimes. But it's... I hope so too. Good. That's good. That makes more sense. Thank you. Oh, I have to laugh. So I had a bit of a falling out, is probably too strong a word, but it'll do. I'm on the parish council, which is the lowest form, for those of you overseas, the lowest form of local government that you can be on. It's voluntary. Sometimes wonder why I bother. Anyway, I look after, because my background is, this is the light, yes, is, oh, it's Magenta Madness. I don't want Magenta Madness, wrong pink. I thought it was a bit bright. I want polished pink. Woo! Let's see if I can kill that a bit. Because my background is in insurance, I look after the insurance for the parish council. And I had a bit of a falling out with our insurance broker because they were putting an endorsement on the policy, which was fine, didn't have a problem with the endorsement, but it was full, won't let you edit. Okay, Jan, I will have another look. Thank you for letting me know. It's meant to. I thought I set it so that everyone could edit, but hey ho. But yes, so the endorsement had major grammatical errors. Major grammatical errors, and that's kind of important when it's a legal document. So I complained, and they have upheld my complaint, which I have to say didn't surprise me, because bad grammar is bad grammar. And in the letter they sent me to say terribly sorry and yes, we've upheld your claim, there were typing errors, which was great in the particular sentence where they were talking about the grammatical errors, which I thought was particularly wonderful. But anyway, and I did share that with them. I did say it's a pity that in the paragraph that you were talking about grammatical errors, there were indeed grammatical errors. But hey, it amuses me. So I don't know if you can see that I'm beginning to get a little bit of shading in, but no line as such. Hello, Deborah. So yes, the fun things that I do in my spare time. I'm going to add the dark here first, I think, just so that it's a bit wetter when I do it. So, who is getting lots of celebration items? I'm loving them. I'm particularly liking the Bedazzled. Bedazzling. Keep calling it Bedazzled and it's not. Just a note of warning that, and I have mentioned this before, the bedazzling and the dyes will not be... Managed to print it, okay. Yes, if they run out, or when they run out, they will not be available. They won't go on back order. Everything else will go on to back order, but the bedazzling and the dyes won't. So if anybody is particularly after those, sooner rather than later, can someone let me know if and when my swaps have arrived? That is part of the reason that I'm doing the document, Barbara, because what I've asked Karen and Jan to do, which obviously they can't at the moment because they can't edit the document, is update the document so that you can see when they've arrived. But right, so dot won't let me in. Right, Catherine. Hi, Catherine. Hi. Actually working at the moment, but having a sneaky peek at what's... Oh, thank you. Thank you, Catherine. That's so kind. You're using the bedazzling tonight. Good. Glad to hear it, Jenny. I'm waiting for one order, then I'm putting it through. Excellent. You're typing one-handed. You're holding a Pomeranian in the other, and why not? So I'm going to start fussy cutting. Now, I know I say this every time I do it, but I'm going to start again with saying it. Move the paper, not the scissors. And if you struggle with fussy cutting, the only way to get better is to do more of it. Just saying. So I do find that cutting it to a smaller piece helps, and also along the way I do quite often trim off behind, so where I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute, because I have a sneaking suspicion I will be doing that very shortly. But yes. So again, for those of you who are in the team doing swaps, this would not count as a SIP card because I've used blends. If I had used Stampin' Right markers to colour in, it would, but not with this going on as well. And you would have to just use the one layer, so you wouldn't be doing the fussy cutting. But from a stamping point of view, it is stamps, ink and paper. No layering, no embossing, no heat embossing, nothing fancy. It's Simple Stamping Saturday, basically. It's the first project of Simple Stamping Saturday. Just so you know. Just wanted to check that everything was going okay. No questions. Do ask questions if you have any. Along the way, if you want to hit the like button, that is always very popular with me. If you want to share the video, also very popular with me. I do like it when people share. Sharing is caring. Right, so what I mean by cutting off along the way is that. But I would come back. You've got all the celebration you wanted. Yes, watercolour pencils and a blending pen are acceptable, Wendy. So yes, think Simple Stamping Saturday. Now, I'm going to be brave. I'm going in because I think this is probably... can't decide which one it's going to go on, but I'm going in. So this, you need to be slightly careful not to stab yourself. Now, I like cutting so that what I'm holding is this side. So I'm actually going to come up and then cut in. And I'm going to cut in from outside the line, coming into the line. You're less likely to get a harsh edge to your cutting that way. And what you don't want is a kind of harsh point. Well, I say you don't. It doesn't matter. It depends on your choice. I'm not a fan of harsh points. Now this is going to be a really good example of where I will cut away some of what I've got here to get further in. Right, so this I will do a sharp point because it's got a sharp point. But I will be ending up cutting away some of this because it's beginning to annoy me already. It's restricting my movement. That bit's all right. But when we get into sort of tighter corners, it will be a little difficult. So here I'm beginning to have a problem. So what I'm going to do is that. Now I've deliberately left where I've started, if you see what I mean. So I haven't cut up to the point that I've got to. I'm going to have to come outside now because my scissors won't go into the hole. So have any of you taken up fussy cutting since you found me? It's hard to find a 4 kilo Pomeranian that's... Those scissors hurt when you accidentally... Oh, yeah, tell me about it, Deborah. I know. You do not want to accidentally stab yourself. Not a good look. I would particularly say not a good look if it goes up your fingernail. Again, as you say, ask me how I know. Brilliant, Wendy. Simple is what we like. It's really what the whole point of that theme was, so that anyone who was a little less confident or didn't have as many products could take part, because I like there to be something for everyone. So for those of you who aren't on my team, we're doing team swaps featuring items in the new mini catalogue as kind of the main item. And we've got, now I wrote them down because I've got to do mic swaps, what we call SIP cards, so stamp, ink and paper. One which has Designer Series paper as its main feature. There we go. One that is any bundle. A fancy tag, and I've used for my description, where the tag is so stunning that you don't need fancy wrapping paper. And then double emboss, which this would count as double emboss, but anything that's got dry embossing and heat embossing would be double embossing. This just happens to combine the two. So the question is, am I going to put it on there or there? I'm thinking there, because I think I want to cover up more of that, whereas this I'm actually quite pleased with. Right, so dimensionals. So I'm going to have white dimensionals rather than black, obviously. I say obviously, I think it's fairly obvious. You may not agree. So next week, not this week, but next week is backstage. So for Stamping Up leaders, which is anyone who is Silver Elite or above, we have got a leaders conference, which was meant to be in Las Vegas, which would have been lovely because so far this year we've had no summer at all. And although Las Vegas in August is not exactly cool, I could do with some heat. Don't know about anybody else, but I really could. I just got to think of 2 other ideas. Thankfully, I only signed up for 3. Yeah, I signed up for all of the ones that had gaps on the basis that I kind of thought that would be a nice thing to do. So I'm using little bits of dimensional. Does anyone else have floaters that get into the wrong part of your eye just at the wrong moment? Joy. I haven't had them, well, I've had them since I stopped chemotherapy. I even remember the day that I first noticed them. I was at the Harry Potter exhibition just outside Watford, and as I walked out I kind of went, that's weird, and it was floaters, and I've had them ever since. So Catherine is part of my team, but she's actually first level to Jan. So Catherine has just said hi to Jan because Jan is her team leader. Right, so I just need a little bit there just to keep everything off the page, and then I'm going to start putting it together, and I'm going to be using, because I haven't for a while, some of my favourite jewels from the annual catalogue. Can anyone remember what they are? Right, I think I'm going to put this onto white, but I'm going to grab some soft succulent, because I think, is that going to be big enough? Nope. I think I'm going to put a little bit of soft succulent around the outside. So I'm just going to cut, I'm going to trim some stuff down. So my lovely trimmer, let's clear away some of the rubbish. This is my mouse, by the way. just in case you were wondering why I had a purple splodge in the middle of my desk. I'd completely forgotten I had it, and then when I was starting my clearing up, which I have got a long way to go, I suddenly found it again. And what's marvellous is that because it turns itself off automatically, it's even got battery in it still. Yeah, I know, Barbara. I was a little sad, but never mind. It was there specifically for you. Hi, Nora. In Colour Gems. Well done, Deborah. Yep. Love me an In Colour Gem. Now, you may be wondering why I'm going to trim this off both sides. A, because it's symmetrical. I actually got this so it was symmetrical. But also so that there are two very definite cut edges, because the edge of heat embossing kind of goes round the back a bit. Now this, I'm just going to cut 1/4 of an inch off the bottom. No, sorry, 1/8 of an inch off the bottom. Yeah, I might try 1/4 of an inch, we'll see. So it's going to be like that. Yeah, no, I think 1/8 is all I need. And the only reason I'm bringing in the soft succulent is because I've got soft succulent in my colouring. So my card base, good old basic white with a bend. Marvellous. And bone folder is actually where it's meant to be. Oh, Wendy, that's wonderful. What am I doing tomorrow? What am I doing tomorrow? What time are you likely to be here, Wendy? Oh, I've got 2 UPS parcels arriving tomorrow. Yummy! Thank you, Loretta. But yes, what time are you going to be around, Wendy? Because you could always pop in for a cup of coffee. I have got something on at lunchtime, but other than that, if you want to come and see us, you are very welcome. Right, okay, so we are there, more or less. So I'm going to grab glue. Where's my glue? There's my glue. I will be adding some ribbon as well. So I'm going to add this, add some glue to that and pop this on top. Comme ça. And turn it over. You could have used fun folds in one of your other swaps, of course. So you could have done a fun fold with designer series paper. Just saying. So that's going to go there, but I want ribbon. I'm going to use soft succulent again. This is the magic ribbon, which is basically any colour green you want it to be. By which I mean, so we've got soft succulent. I say green. This sort of soft green. If I pop it onto Jan's favourite colour, mint macaron, it's also mint macaron. So yes, if you want mint macaron ribbon that isn't the velvet ribbon, you want soft succulent, because it is a magic ribbon. Right, so don't need that. What I'm going to do is partially cover up my mistake down here. Wendy said something and then retracted her message, which is fine. Send me an email or something, Wendy, and we can have a think about stuff. Yep, right, so that's going to... But if you happen to be around and you want to catch up, please do. So apart from lunchtime, I haven't got anything in my diary. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't say I have nothing to do. I have a lot to do, just nothing in my diary. Right, okay, so you know I'm going to use my grid paper to line up my ribbon on the back, and I'm also going to use Seal Plus, because I like a bit of Seal Plus for ribbon. So 1, 2, and then more Seal Plus over the top. I the only one who, when they start a new Tombow glue, you always think that it's always going to be full? Took over 4 hours to get to Cheltenham last week. Good grief. Well, we can leave it kind of open. If you want to pop in, you can. Just give me a heads up so that I don't end up doing a repeat of when Michelle came round yesterday. And yeah, let's just say it was a lovely surprise. But we're having a bit of a tidy up of the house. So we've been going through cupboards, and the place looked like a bomb had hit, because we'd got things sort of out ready to put away when we've cleared the next cupboard. It's a bit like one of those puzzles where you've got one hole, and we're in the middle of that at the moment. So yes, bless her. I said, please don't judge the state of this place, because it was interesting. I had no makeup on. I needed to wash my hair, but I was going to the gym last night, so I thought I wouldn't bother washing my hair until I'd been there. Wasn't going to put makeup on to go to the gym. Wasn't expecting to see anyone, so I wasn't exactly at my best. Yeah, it's Lorna, it's a fun thing, isn't it? Going through cupboards. We're having to do the whole, let's not judge each other when we go through a cupboard, hubby and I. Because, now I'm going to offset this very slightly, because I think offset is better than not in the middle. You see what I mean? If something's bang in the middle and it's not, it can look a bit interesting. Right, okay, I'm going to use one of the sentiments because I can. I think I'm going to do You Amaze Me. So one thing I just want to say is, and I don't know why this took me so by surprise, but it sort of did. My team leader, Michelle, very kindly shared the fact that I had earned the trip with pretty much everyone. And actually, I'm going to go Evening Evergreen. Only because I used it for the outline of the heart, so I think I need to bring it in again. And she shared it in the leaders groups and stuff, and the support and congratulations that I have had from everyone is just amazing. It's one of the absolute joys of doing this. I hadn't expected, I don't know why I hadn't expected that people who are other demonstrators, why they wouldn't be supportive, but oh boy are they supportive. It's been amazing. Right, so I might just be fussy cutting this as well. Right, lots of negotiations about what can go. Yeah, we're not actually doing much of the negotiations. We're just being ruthless. Pack up your whole kitchen as the builders are starting. And you've waited 20 years for it. Oh, Deborah, I take my hat off to you. Only because we've had two new kitchens since Martin and I have been together. I would hasten to add they were in our previous home. And I swore when we had the last one done I would never have another kitchen done, unless we were moving out while it was being done. I mean, not wishing to put you off, but everything seemed to take 5 times longer than we were expecting, and it just did my head in. Absolutely did my head in. I think it was partly because of the builders we used. We were using some friends, or a friend who had a building company, and I think that was a mistake, because I mean I love him to bits, but I think he probably used us as a bit of a if I've got nothing better to do, I'll come around and do some work on your kitchen. So he was running about 3 jobs at once, and I think we were fairly near the bottom of the pile. In fact, no, I think we were at the bottom of the pile. So when on one occasion he accidentally, I will hasten to add, went through our hot water pipe and then said, "I'm sorry, terribly sorry, but I need to go now for the evening. I'll be back tomorrow to reconnect your hot water," because he had to turn the hot water off. I didn't quite bar him from leaving, but it was pretty close. Basically, it was, "Sorry, you're not leaving us with no hot water overnight." So yes, I think it was possibly that put me off the whole idea of having another new kitchen. Fortunately, when we moved into our current home, the kitchen was not that old and is fine, and the cabinets are wood that can be painted, so if we want to change the colour we can. We just have to get a paintbrush out. So yeah, I can't see that we're going to need another new kitchen at any point. And the ovens that we've got are modular, so if we wanted to upgrade the ovens we could do that without having to build a whole new kitchen around them. That will be fine then, Deborah. If you've been given a deadline and all they do is kitchens, I'm sure they will hit those targets. This was, as I say, a friend. Still almost a friend. So I like using these edge bits for narrow die cuts. I say die cuts, fussy cutting, but die cuts too. So, and we can add little bits. Oh, do I actually want a bit there? Yes. So I think we're going to have me coming over the edge. Gosh, I've taken nearly 3/4 of an hour to make this card. Quite a lot of leather, but yeah, not the quickest card in the world. The next one will be quicker. Right, it always helps when you're trying to stick something down to put the sticky side down. So even though this is very narrow, it's not as narrow as that bit there. And obviously we don't need dimensional the whole way across, just in a few strategic places. My name is not Bruno Bertucci. I don't need dimensional everywhere. Oh, and thank you for those who voted for me on my International Blog Highlights card. Don't know the result yet. We are also having new flooring through most of the house. Wow. Yes, quite. Good grief, Charlie Brown. Thank you, Barbara. Right. Okay, so I'm going to have the me overlapping. And then we can have straight is always a plan, particularly when you've got something straight behind. Right, so this is not the one I'm going to put gems on. I'm going to put gems on the other one, but that is my finished one of those. So the next one, this one, is going to be significantly quicker. So this time I cut it in, stamped it in Memento. I will be fussy cutting, but only the outside. But we are going to colour inside with the right colours this time. Thank you, Deborah. So yes, I will be using polished pink on this, not Magenta Madness. So really quick colouring. Now, I know, again, I've said this on numerous occasions, but some things are worthy of repeat. Make sure your ink, your background ink, is fully dry before you come in with your blends, because otherwise it will smudge. same with, you know, everything. If you're going to colour over the top of a stamped image, make sure that stamped image is fully dry first, otherwise it will smudge your ink. And that goes for stays on with watercolour as well. It's not just for blends and the like. Stays on dries quickly, but it's not actually instant. It's quick, just not instant. As I discovered when I stamped all the catalogues I was sending out, and I used stays on for my information on the back, thinking that's fine, it'll dry really quickly. Not so much. They were fine, but there were one or two splodges. Gold medal fussy. Thank you, Wendy. Gold medal fussy cutting. Right, so that's the pink. Then let's do the leaves. Actually, this time I'm going to do this slightly differently. So I'm going to put the dark down first and then the light. You do get a slightly different look. You tend to get more of the dark if you haven't put it on top of light. And I'm also going to do a little trick, which can A, help your fussy cutting, and B, help it to kind of just sit more comfortably. And again, it's not true, it's not a new trick, I have shown you it before. Right, so I'm not blending, I'm only blending the edge of the dark soft succulent. But what I'm going to do, because to be perfectly honest with you, I've gone over the edge, is I'm going to take my light smoky slate and come around the outside of my fussy cutting. I'm also going to, no, I won't go in. So this is where I'm going to be fussy cutting. And this can sometimes make it easier for you to understand where you've got to go. The other thing you can do if you're worried about fussy cutting and how far out you're going to go and whether it's consistent is just get a soft pencil, by which I don't mean an H something, I mean a B something. Even an HB might be too hard, but a soft pencil, and draw round your image just a little bit outside of where you've stamped. Then cut on that line, and then you can rub the line out once you have fussy cut it. Just be careful if you're going over, if you're doing a really narrow fussy cut. But it does mean that if you do leave any of the pencil mark on, you can just cut it away, rub it away rather. Right, so I'm going to start at the bottom again, but I'm going to go round the end because I don't want to point. So this will be reasonably quick. It's not the inside, it's the outside. And you see me fussy cut it once. So you kind of don't really need to see me do it again. So I'm going to take less time. This I will allow to be a sharp turn because it is going into a point there. But as much as possible, I like, personally, this is personal taste. So, you know, if it's not for you, then that's fine. I like smoother edges if I can have them. This I'm going to allow to be a point because it is a narrow part. That, however, I want rounded. That I can have sharpish. It's too wide. better. Again, down at the bottom here, I'm going to have a sharp turn because that is a point. Round, even though it's a point, it's not actually a point, it's a leaf, so it's going to have more of a rounded edge. And round the end. So I've got some of the grey still left on there, and then this, which is going to go here, but we are going to grab one of the other stamps. I think this fits in the middle. Yeah. So, block. And again, I know I say this often, but probably deserves repeating. I've put this on crooked so that I'm not trying to, I'm looking at this, the stamp, not the edge of the block. Because I've got Memento Pink and Soft Succulent, I'm not going to bring in the Evening Evergreen again. I think I'm going to bring in the Soft Succulent, just because there's quite a lot of pink. And fingers crossed that this is straight. Yes! Love it when a plan comes together. Okay, so, and again I am going to put some, some ribbon around this. So, don't need that. So this is going to cover up some of these smushes. So the real question is, do I want to cover up that smush or that smush? I think I'll cover up, I think we'll do the whole coming over to the edge again. So, polished pink ribbon, and this time I am going to have a knot because it'll help cover that up. And I'm still going to go through the whole, popping it on the back. I can see where, I don't know why I'm looking at that, because I can see where the embossing is from this side. So let's line that up. Seal plus. Bring it taut. Right. And a polished pink card base, just half a sheet, scored in the middle and cut in half. So that's going to go on there. Should I make this an expensive card? I think I might make this an expensive card. I'm going to just add a little bit of Seal Plus to the back of my ribbon there. But what I'm then going to do is pop a dimensional over the top of that. This is going to be an expensive card to send because it is going to have dimension. So in the UK you can get away with one layer of dimensionals before you go into large letter, but this is going to have a knot, and I think I'm also going to put my heart on dimensionals. So, bin. Hello, Karen. Hello, Karen from New Hampshire, I should say. So it's early in the morning with you guys. Right, okay, so let me pop that onto my card base, grab my ribbon, and this is either going to make the mistake, well not mistake, but the inking more obvious or less, and I don't know which yet. Probably more I don't care. I know I should, but I don't. We're allowed to have a little bit of poetic license on these things. Ooh, frayed edge. Right. Okay, so this is also going to go on with dimensionals, which I've churlishly thrown over the other side of my desk. One in the middle. Let's pop one there, one there. They should be thrown over that side of my desk. So yes, all the product shares have gone out, with the exception of those going to Germany, because then I can hopefully combine 2 parcels into one. But those all went into, those all went into the post, I want to say yesterday. So I'm lining up this straight. I don't mind if the heart's a little skew whiff. This actually wasn't stamped straight. I thought it was, but it wasn't. Thank you, Deborah. Yes, handmade, not Hallmark. Right, okay, so where are my... There they are. My favourite. They're still my favourite. I do like the brushed metallic dots in the mini catalogue, but these are still my favourite. So, take your pick. And... oh, I could use soft succulents as well, couldn't I? Woohoo! Okay, so... I'll have... where are there bits that I want to cover up? No, actually not too much. No, I think I'm going to bring one this side of the ribbon, then one up there, and one... they might come off, and then I'm going to do... so I'm going to do 2 lots of 3, which I know is an even number, which I don't often do, but I am going to do 2 lots of 3 on the basis they're 2 lots of 3, not... that's a soft succulent, so let's use that. Not 6. Do you get what where I'm coming from with that? Cat hair. Does that make sense that it's 2 lots of 3? So basically I'm going to put this anywhere where there's something not perfect. Well, I can't put it everywhere there's something not perfect, because there's quite a lot not perfect. But anyway, there we go. Right, so that is my second card. Let's clear some of the wreckage and have a proper look. So let me bring these up so you can see them. So this is the one. Now I would obviously put a liner in, you know, writing on polished pink, not great. But those are our 2 cards. So they are the same but different. But yeah, I hope you like those. Thumbs ups are always appreciated. If you've got any questions, please do let me know. For those of you on catch up, I will be posting this on my website very soon, and there will be a link in the description bar below that. Thank you, Deborah. If you are in Europe and you need any of the supplies, please do consider purchasing through me. Thank you, Claire. Oh, I meant to say, so can you see the smoky slate around the outside? Kind of helps in a funny way to push it into the background. It's a weird thing. You can also do this with where you haven't fussy cut, and that really helps the image stand out. But thank you, Barbara. So yes, do remember that during Celebration the best deal in the catalogue is always the starter kit, but it's even better during Celebration because you can get a free bundle as well. So make sure you have a look at that. One of the bundles that you can get, there's 12 from the mini catalogue that you can get. One of them's worth over £55. Just saying. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Helen. I'm going to flip up so that we can say goodbye properly. If I can find my mouse. There we go. Then I can go back to that and do my proper goodbye. Because I like to say goodbye face on. Thank you, Jan. So, yes, have a fantastic rest of your day, everyone. If there is anything you need, do just let me know. Leave a comment below. As I say, thumbs ups are always appreciated. But, yeah, have a fantastic day. And I will look forward to seeing some of you, hopefully, Thursday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. Just to let you know that I may be taking a little bit of time off between now and the end of Celebration, just to have a bit of a chill. But I will put videos in place of the usual lives. Thanks, Wendy. Yes, be in touch. That would be lovely. So thank you very much. I shall bring up my end screen and say goodbye with this hand so you can actually see it. And yeah. See you again soon, I hope.